I'm about to introduce you guys to a man who actually lived without a heart in his body for 555 days. Stan Larkin, who is only 25 years old, was diagnosed with familial cardiomyopathy as a teenager, which is a terrible condition where your heart can literally stop working without any warning at all. He has been on the transplant list for several years. For just under 2 years while waiting for a transplant donor, he had his heart removed to make way for a healthy heart once it was available, and he wore an artificial heart backpack. This 13.5-pound backpack connects directly to the cardiovascular system and takes over where the heart left off. The reason doctors equipped him with this backpack as opposed to just waiting for a donor heart was because when Stan first came into the intensive care unit, he was extremely ill, and they feared if they didn't step in, he wouldn't have made it, having to wait for the transplant. Throughout all of this, Stan continued to live his life as normally as possible and even continued to play basketball, which stunned doctors, seeing as the backpack is equivalent to the weight of 4 MacBooks. And let's not forget, this was strapped to his back 24/7. His doctor said that this pack wasn't made to handle sports. He really pushed the envelope with this technology. Luckily, back on May 9th, after wearing this backpack for 555 days, Stan finally received his heart transplant and is now on the road back to full health. Hey guys, TJF, we made it to Friday. Now we can sit back and relax because the weekend is finally here. Now, as always, I have some amazing news stories and movie reviews headed your guys' way, but first, yesterday you were asked, what would you do with $1 billion? And this is what you guys had to say. Today I want to know, what are you most looking forward to doing this summer? Let me know your answer down in the comments and you might be featured in tomorrow's video. Next, WhatsApp has recently added a new feature we've all been asking for. WhatsApp has now hopped aboard the GIFs train. Now, this new feature hasn't officially been announced yet, but the good people over at WA Beta Info noticed the update in a beta version of the app. So guaranteed it's coming. Next, the real Amityville horror house is actually up for sale. Yeah, you know the house where Ronald DeFeo murdered his mother, father, and 4 siblings in the house back in 1974 because the voices in his head told him to do it? Yeah, that house. But surprisingly, this house isn't going for cheap. This house is located in New York and it's on the market for $850,000. Occupants who have owned the house since then have claimed that paranormal activities have occurred. There have been weird odors, strange sounds, and chilling cold that commonly passes through their bodies. Despite the fact that this house is haunted, it's quite pretty with nice views and it's right on the water. Next, we have a story about spiders. So if you're not a fan, you might want to look away for this story. So it looks like thousands of spiders have band together to spin a massive spiderweb up in the trees in Tasmania, Australia. This may be the creepiest thing I have ever seen. Experts believe that heavy flooding in the area led to those crazy webs being formed as spiders have been forced into the trees to escape the murky waters. This is known as mass ballooning. A lot of spiders use this as a way to get around. Since they can't fly, they float around on the strands of silk. Yeah, safe to say I'm not going to be visiting Australia anytime soon. Finally, I'm going to let you guys know what super cool, awesome movies are going to be hitting box office this weekend. And we have Warcraft, The Conjuring 2, and Now You See Me 2, the second act. Alright, let's start off with Warcraft. This is an adventure fantasy. In this movie we have Travis Fimmel, Paula Patton, Ben Foster, and Dominic Cooper. This movie is an epic 3D adventure of worlds colliding conflict. The peaceful realm of Azeroth stands on the brink of war as its civilization forces a fearsome race of invaders. As a portal opens, one army faces destruction and the other faces extinction. From opposing sides, 2 heroes are set on a collision course that will decide the fate of their families, their people, and their homes. Next, we have The Conjuring 2. Now, if you've watched the first movie, then you know The Conjuring is one of the freakiest movies out there. So I'm sure this one will be terrifying as well. It's the whole based on a true story thing that kind of makes it really, really creepy. You know, knowing that what you're about to watch actually happened. This is a horror thriller. It stars Patrick Wilson, Vera Farmiga, Madison Wolfe, Francis O'Connor, and Lauren Esposito. Like the first movie, this one too is based off a real case from the files of the renowned demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren. During one of their most terrifying paranormal investigations, the couple head to North London to help a single mother raising 4 children alone in a house plagued by malicious spirits. Lastly, we have Now You See Me 2, the second act. The first one was so good. For me, the ending was pretty predictable, but it was still great. This movie is an action thriller, and in it we have Jesse Eisenberg, Mark Ruffalo, Woody Harrelson, Dave Franco, Daniel Radcliffe, and Lizzie Kaplan. Personally, I'm sad Isla Fisher isn't in this one. I hate when they change up the cast for sequels. In this movie, after the illusionists known as the 4 Horsemen flee from the stage show, they find themselves in pretty deep trouble. A devious tech wizard, shockingly played by Daniel Radcliffe, yet another wizarding role, he He forces the magicians to steal a powerful chip that can control all of the world's computers. All of these movies, they sound so good. I know for sure I'm gonna be seeing The Conjuring 2 and Now You See Me Too. What about you guys? Let me know down in the comments which of these movies you plan on watching. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see all of you beautiful people tomorrow. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment for more awesome stories from around the world. We have more stories up over here, and as always, you guys can follow me on Instagram at Court McGinley.